This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Today, like I said, we'll be covering the concepts of email marketing and, if possible, landing page. So, with the previous slides, here we have done search engine marketing, the local SEO, and we did Google Ads. Now we'll be doing email marketing. So it's not as traditional or outdated as it seems. The implementation of email marketing is very effective. How you reach your potential customers, and basically, more or less, if we come back to this process of digital marketing, the same thing is followed here as well in form of in form of emails. Okay, the first one is you create a visibility through you how do you collect, and where do you think you can collect these email IDs from your prospective customers? That's the first question. Can any of you tell me how do you usually collect details of your prospective customers or your audiences? Can you get some
Through
answers in the?
surveys, sir.
Sorry,
Through surveys.
I'm not able to hear you, ma'am. Through what?
Sir, when we conduct surveys, sir.
Service, yeah, feedback form, correct. So feedback form, websites, correct. You can type it in the comment section as well. Those would like to communicate through
And if
text.
we conduct any competitions or events as such, we can get their contact numbers and we can keep in touch with them in the future, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So that's why most of these big companies, they participate in this trade shows, expos, and all these kind of events, the big scale events of their business category. So that point of time, whether they will make a sale or not, there are high chances of getting these kind of contacts. Their database, uh, this is that would be one of the best places they can do it. So that's a great example. And also, Sushmita says existing company database. Yes, that as well. And all these ways, how you can extract these details. And once we do that, we will be having a format of how to keep our customers, um, retain them basically. What are the things we need to look into? So what is email marketing? It is an act of sending a commercial message, typically to group of people using an email. Correct. So that's a very basic definition of what email marketing is. And if this done on a long duration of time, and the right procedure, uh, there are there is high chances of retaining and also uh, getting more customers as well. So like you mentioned, all these trade shows, expo, so that's where you're getting the new leads. But to retain to what we have, like one of you said, existing database. So for them to retain, we emails are a great way of marketing, just to keep them in the loop about whatever is happening. Anything, any transaction, they purchase something, you can say thank you for choosing us, or whatever like that, or something else is coming up, product or service is being launched, you can mention about that. So basically any form of communication which is directly accessible to the customer, directly you reach the customer, but again it's not invasive. every business person or everyone, 91% of the people, they do check their mails. Okay, if you do a transaction, you get it in form of a mail. Mails. Transactions of mail. Your banks communicate the same through mail. Okay, and if you are a registered member of certain product or service, same is always sent to you. So this may seem a little old right now for all the technology we're using, but this is a very effective tool how we make use of email marketing. Okay, in its broadcast sense, every email sent to potential or current customer could be considered email marketing. That's a continuation of the definition. It usually involves using email to send advertisements, request business. Okay, that's another thing we need to look into. Getting lead is one, having existing customer is one point, and the one is requesting business. So you already have zeroed in on some prospect customers, and you would like to be in their good terms to get business ahead from them. So you can this is a great form of reaching out to them, that you are there and you can always provide them that service to them.
Sir,
Okay, yeah, madam.
sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
Yeah, I've just turned it off for a while. I'll put it on once I start Mailchimp.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah. And in terms of even to build loyalty, like consistently, if you're in touch with them and they know you're communicating, so that's a loyalty factor which works there. And another main thing what we can do, see, more or less it all comes down to objectives of digital marketing. And another great motive here, what we can do with this is brand awareness. Okay, so lead generation, brand awareness, retention, and what else did we have? Sale, everything. If you see, it comes down to that objective of how digital marketing goes. And this is another channel. Okay, this is another type of marketing we use for the same. And going forward, okay, see here that's what it says. um, the term usually refers to sending email messages with purpose of enhancing a merchant's relationship with current or previous customers, encouraging customer loyalty and repeat business, acquiring new customers, convincing current customers to purchase something immediately, and sharing third party ads. So even when we go no if we go to any of these good high end shop, what do you say, Krispy Kremes or any kind of these places, even other places I can tell you, I think even these shopping, shop, what do you say, um, these hypermarket too, they do have that feature. Metro is the best offer I can say. Metro, the large scale retailer, there you make a purchase and they keep encouraging you. They send you a message on your mobile, a normal SMS, bulk SMS, and also they keep you informed through mails. So in case they're getting new inventory, something is coming into their inventory, they let you know they have procured this and some offers going on. So businesses are making use of this in a great way. And the same, all the large businesses, you can say SMEs, and even the bigger ones as well. Okay, in plain and simple terms, it's all about promoting your brand service via email, where the receiver has given you the permission to send you an email. Uh, so this is another one. So more or less, what is a subscriber? If they unsubscribe you and that's the end of it, your messages won't be going there. So here this line says, it's in simple terms, it's promoting your brand or service via email where the receiver has given you the permission. So they wouldn't mind if you are a brand who, or if you're a business who is providing the services, and your mails are of some value for them, and it is not continuously being spammed by sale. So even there are certain words when you get a mail, and if you okay, if the person who sends you has those words in drafted in the mail, there are always chances of it going into your spam, in your email account, account. So they need to be very careful with the word, the choice of words they use. So certain words will land into spam, and I think once we start, there's another. I'll start the session in the while where I'll be demoing, a third-party application called Mailchimp, where apart our, actual Gmail and Yahoo, they give a lot, little more advantages over the normal sending platforms. So when I do that, I'll let you know those words which you need to avoid. And it's essential that one of the mail companies sends out people, but here there are few approaches to which are covered in the later section. So this is not done by Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, or other ones. So this is done by automated email marketing software. Uh, One more thing, let's okay, types of email marketing: permission marketing and spam marketing. So it's always better we stay, I told you, if you avoid certain words, your marketing mails don't land in the spam section. And in case they subscribe and they have no issues receiving the content you send, so that is the permission marketing. And they too are, that's where the brand loyalty comes in, and they don't mind getting messages from you because you might be providing them some value regarding the service or product, or even the offers you give might be value to them. Okay, so I just have a screen open. I'll just show you what are the limitations of Gmail. Okay, nice to know the complete strength is here, almost. So Gmail sending limits. So you can send around 2000 and find it in trial accounts. Auto forward 10,000. Recipients per message around 2000 again. Is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So they have certain Gmail sending limits for mobile devices as well. So I'll just open a page from Gmail itself. Okay, I saw the message now. Okay, it says 5 emails sent out to 10 addresses count as 50 total recipients. So if you want to reach out to more people than this, we have these third-party marketing services. One of them is Mailchimp. I'll just start with how do you create this account. There is one more. There's sending in blue and get response. So these are some of them. Okay, let me log out. I think there's a slight internet issue today. Just let me know when there's a lag in the screen. Okay, let me go to the sign up page. So you can go to Google and see they are running an ad too. They have a Google ad which is running on the search network. They have extensions and they worked on it. So this is the service provider I'm talking about for email marketing. There is other as well, but this is the better one to practice, and you have a demo here. See, they have their premium account, which is close to around 23,000, and that's per month. So the bigger businesses can pick that up, and essential for small business or individuals and standard as well. But let's go with free for the demo. I think there's a slight lag today in the internet. Please bear with me. Okay. So once we do that, I'll ask you for your email ID and username. So I'll take in an account which are not signed up before. I hope so. Let's see. So given an email ID, username, and a password for which it particularly says one lowercase character, one uppercase, one number, and special character. So likewise, just given a password which matches all that. If you don't want to receive promotion emails, you can do that. So for this, we'll need to just check our email for a verification. I'll do that. Give me a minute. I'm facing a slight lag. Give me a minute. So once you do that, you can activate your account. It'll ask you for verification a couple of times. So with the free plan, we get to we get to set keep around 2,000 contacts and 10,000 emails sent. And the same, if you can go through, the others have other on 1 second. Each account has its own specifications, starting from premium, which they're charging around 23,000, and the features vary as well. Like what you pay is what you get. So when you okay, so here as well, see around 10,000 contacts and around 1,50,000 emails. So imagine the bulk mails you can send through this. And when you exceed the limit, additional charges of per additional 1,000. Okay, standard offers around 500 contacts and 6,000 email sends. So you can save up to around 500 and send around 5,000 emails. Okay, yeah, it gives you around 10,000 email sends. Go ahead with your name. You can, if you have a laptop, you can do this along with me, and just share me a screenshot once the session is done. Or if you want to watch and do this later, either ways. So it'll ask you for website URL. That's optional. You can give in your phone number. If you want it, you can get it checked or continue. Given the ID, the address. Yeah, I've just given my address, and rest is default. Continue. Okay, it'll ask whether you have contacts or you want to start from blank. So this can include people who have signed up, receive marketing emails from your organization. Do you have any contacts as of now? No. Ones who are already using Mailchimp. Okay. Help us determine the best experience for you. So it asks, do you sell or services online? You can see, well, based on what you're doing. I'll choose service. I think I took digital edge, right? So I'll choose service online. It'll ask you your own website or e-commerce store. However, I mean, if you have your own website, you can do that. It's just from you. Okay, there's certain e-commerce newsletter and all that. Let's skip for now. Continue. Everyone, kindly mute yourself. Okay, we can just skip all this for now. I'll do this later. There is a slight lag today, I guess, right? The next screen, yeah, it's still showing you the old one. Okay, just I'll do this later. For now, we'll do all this. You can go through this a little later. And this should be more or less your home screen. Okay, before we go ahead, give me a minute. So what are the best platforms for email marketing? You have it's called AWE Weber. You have SendGrid, constant contact, get response. So get response is also one of the famous and trending sites. So service providers for email marketing. You have Mailchimp, which I'm currently giving you a demo on. So for this, we need to have a list. Uh, Usually, when you collect these details, you can collect them in form of the Google Forms, which we did earlier, which I showed you. You can create a landing page or through a website, whatever you get in. And if it is saved in format of Excel, it gets very easy for you to send bulk mails. So you can categorize your audiences, and all these platforms becomes quite easy for you because one, you can tag them, differentiate whether they are your existing customers, your leads, or uh, some customers who have certain feedbacks from their end and you would like to respond at once. So something like that, you can categorize and create separate audience, but for them you need to have it segregated quite advanced in advance. And here, when you're sending in these emails, you can follow a format. You don't, it doesn't always have to be uh, hitting them with mails about your company, your branding. You can start with giving them just a general awareness on what's happening in the market and how are you adding value. Okay, over the time you can follow a pattern, and that's how most companies do it. On a Monday they have certain format of email they'll send out to their their customers. So they schedule their emails basically. So how we schedule the post earlier, you can do the same with the mails. And when you use this email on when we use the emails on Gmail or Yahoo or any of these platforms, it'll be mostly in form of words, so a text format. But these services provide us a better format and layout. We are already using I think you're familiar with Canva. So there we had these ready-made tools what you could work on, and here as well you can start from basic, like a blank canvas and work on it, but it provides you better elements and templates where you can work on. Let me just show you. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry, am I audible now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yeah. So I was talking to you about the platforms what you can work this on. You have getresponse.com, and there's Mailchimp, SendGrid, SendLane. So these are a few platforms. Mailchimp, you can send better email and sell more stuff. And the most important thing here is its sign up is quite free. I mean, literally free. And Get Response is world's easiest email marketing. You have around 50,000 customers right now and around 182 countries. So there's a lot of engagement which works on, and how you how you schedule your mail is also quite important. So I said types of mails you can reach them out. You can have promotional emails like letting them know on what your potential customers buy your product or service. But when do you schedule that? That's a different point. I'm just going through types of emails, email marketing we can do. You can have regular emails, regular emails in the sense meant to strengthen the relationship between the business and the customer and encourage loyalty to a product or service. For example, you take you're giving out a free course or a demo course on a digital marketing or a tally or a SAP if you are any education student, or if you're an artist, you're just giving you're performing a live show and that would be online, and you're informing your your audiences about it. So how you keep them interactive. Even artists can do that as well, not just the businesses. And you can do advertisement emails. So for a product or service that is placed in email and sent by other people or companies, typically found in banners. Okay. And you can do newsletters as well, like I told you. If it's just not about sale and product or service, you can do newsletters. Okay, I'll just show you one of the formats here where you can mails. Is the screen visible now? Okay, give me a minute. I think it's not. Here, your customers buy sale. Okay. February 8th, reminder your sale and a product feature. On 13th, you tell them about the urgency. The last give them a deadline, like it's about to it's just tomorrow and the sale is about to end. So first you announce, and in the middle you sometime you remind them, and then you say it's the last chance in part of the sale. So every situation, upcoming we have Christmas, so we take these seasonal seasonal events and festivals just to bring it to a point for us as a business to either make a sale or create our brand awareness to them in form of our creators and email. So how each time it's just an opportunity for us to reach out to the customer and be present. So that is the first process of digital marketing here, being visibility. Okay, here see how they have put themselves off in the calendar, and this is how it's worked. See, your non-promotional emails will be less sales, providing value to your customers. You might open an educational video or blog post. So you can create some, value in terms of educating your customer. If not about the are into fashion, and you'll be enlightening them or letting them know what are the current trends, what's really happening out there, like what's going to be good for them. So whatever, I mean, your business category, you will be knowing the best. Based on that, you're providing some value, value content. So here, what non-promotional email might look like. See, the example was on jewelry. So they have continued forward, and it says how to keep your jewelry location. And if you see this, they have scheduled in such a way, it's not back to back and it's not too invasive, but they're still present. Every month they've planned an activity, and that's how we should go about too. But in terms of social media, you need to be more consistent, even in email. But to some extent, I mean, here in this example, they place themselves at some spacing every month. They're still active, but they're not. Um, what do you say? They're not that aggressive here. So it says start filling your email marketing calendar with some dates and ideas of your own. So you can make the same for you, for your digital marketing activities as well. You can take out a calendar. I think most of our calendars are editable, so we can do that and just plan in the schedule. You can add an event, like you would like to send an email that day, and see Christmas would anyway be there. Any special occasions, and see, this is how you do. And you can, just like how you schedule, schedule your post, you can schedule your mail as well. So planning ahead helps a lot, and it keeps you, a step ahead to know what you're going to be doing next. Then plan previous day or a previous week. You already have something in, on the calendar, and you work on it, work towards it rather. So then you can again measure your effort, how it has worked post once you send it. So that's what I said. So commit to a schedule, decide on your priorities and goals. So look at a calendar, schedule everything. Start with your business or send date. Once you have that date, work backward, and you know when you need to start. So that's what I'm saying. See, the next big occasion is Christmas, and all the businesses. Okay, if you see, even in Bangalore, uh, how all these CBD, commercial business districts are lit, and the number of people also, they'll have that huge sales also running, and it's just point of time. One, it is celebration, and two, it's time for people to work. And one, it is celebration, and two, it's time for people to shop. So when people are shopping, it's the businesses who are making good money. So we need to be prepared well in advance for that. You know, keep your customers aware of the upcoming sale you have, or you're launching any products just for that Christmas, or any, if you're a bakery, you have some special cakes, special orders and deliveries just for it. So these are the ways you can reach them out, and email is a great way. And most the first thing what we do in the morning is check our phones, and we will have updates on the email or WhatsApp. So it's a daily activity for most of us, and reaching people through email is a great option. It's still not outdated. It's very valid and has a lot of productivity, but it should be done right. You should not be too invasive, not too aggressive, but have these, you should be providing the customer some value. Then they would definitely accept, and you know uh, be aware of what you're doing. So yeah, see, again, they're going on the calendar. The topic here would be on the calendar. So once you have filled your personal seasonal holiday ideas next year, see how many topics you still need. Hopefully you have ongoing idea file. Few minutes and brainstorm your topics you want to write. Questions your client always ask you. Yeah, quite. Continue until you have enough ideas. So work on the calendar, plan your digital marketing schedule. It can be posting, can be email, can be mobile marketing, the SMS. So once it's all planned and scheduled, it's very easy. And if it reaches the customer at the right point of time when he's about to make the decision, you will be one of the businesses he will have in consideration. So reaching out to them at the right point of time is very important, and this is one of the great ways to do it. Okay, how do you measure email marketing campaigns? So delivery rates, this metric is the main starting point of your email campaign, with a great metric to monitor the strength of your email list. I'll do a very small example. I've taken just a list of 10 contacts just for today's class. You can do the same. You can have it in I think CSV or an Excel format. uh, Mailchimp or every marketing service have their own format, but I've just taken name, email IDs. You can do the same and give it a try. Okay, and here in email, what is another important criteria is you may send mails, but how many of it get opened? So that is the open rates. Uh, the first one you can say delivery rates and impressions as well. Uh, they might see your mail, but uh, they opening your email is quite subjective. Okay, so here is the concept of open rates. So once your email has reached your client inbox, the next challenge is to get the email read. So here comes the importance of the subject line. If your subject line is too long and doesn't bring up the interest of the reader, or it takes them away. So you need to be very careful with the subject line. It has to be very brief, and it should be up to the point. It should be very specific. And there are certain words also which you need to avoid, which I'll tell you once we get there. And click through rates. Now that your subscriber has received the email and opened it, it's time for action. Okay, the CTA. So this is solely down to your content. Is your content relevant? Relevant emails will have high click-through rates. So we are doing an email, a campaign approach. So you send this out to, like I told you for today's example, I've taken 10, but you can do this, to hundreds and thousands of your database, what you have. Okay, the same way targeted landing pages are created for search engine marketing campaigns, and same applies to B2B email marketing campaigns. The landing page should continue the same message that the email displayed. Okay, if your call to action within the email sends your reader to the home, the reader is more likely to leave the site. So what they're saying here is, um, you can create landing pages for what email you send them. Search marketing campaigns, and I think we did this the other day when we did the Google ads. We did search engine marketing campaign, uh, which applies for B2B, business to business email marketing campaigns. So your landing page should have the same message as your email. So it should be relative to what you had sent, and you're likely to get in the further details from there. What this basically means is, see, you create a search engine ad, okay, and from there you um, drive your customer to a certain landing page. So there, like I told you, you collect the details of the customers. So it can be their email ID, it can be their phone numbers. So that database can be a hub you would have designed earlier, and from there you bring up the list. Correct. So that is another way you can grow your database. Like we spoke earlier, your trade shows, your existing business, even the campaigns you create. So these all are all the places where you can generate your leads. Revenue per email and conversion rate. So marketers will be familiar with the website conversion rate if Google Analytics commerce tracking is implemented. So we have Google Analytics, which, like I told you, the analytics I showed you in YouTube. The similar way, you will know your conversion rate. Okay. However, knowing an email conversion rate is statistic only footnote. Track your email campaign. Google URL builder. Identify how much of your revenue each email brings you. Okay. So let's get into email. Mailchimp now. I've just shown you how you sign up. So once that is done, you can ignore this, and you can click on I'll do this later, and you head to create. Once you're here, you get this option of regular email, embedded form, landing page. So landing page we'll be doing in a little while. So let's start with email. Here you can take regular, plain text, or template. So let's go for template. Get started. Okay, this is the layout, and you have a preset themes. I just scroll through some of them. See, there are different themes on different businesses and formats. There's newsletter, vertical note, wide, sidebar, ribbon. So you can make use of these presets already and send in a mail. Based on what occasion, what your requirement is, you can choose that. In case you have an event, you can let them know on that as well. So basically reaching out on all these platform, just tells your customer how prepared you are, and how easily you can reach them on the various platforms: social media, email marketing, your mobile marketing. So in case, okay, here if they have a birthday and you have list of your customers who celebrating their birthday or anniversary on that particular day, and if you send in a mail, personal mail for them, so for which again you need to segregate and create an audience for that. Your database for this has to be huge, and you should know, even the amount of details you should know about your customer is it's got to be a lot. Separate list for it. Okay, here you have an event, you have an invitation. If you're coming up with an event soon, you can make use of this. Multiple events. So ticket. So if they're signing up for an event and you're sending out the form of they're signed up for that event, you can send them the ticket. Sale announcement, new collection. They have monthly contest. You're providing certain offers. Yeah, I think boutique. Most of you are interested in this there. You can pick that up. If you have picture of your own, that's okay. Or work on putting up your name there, and you can create a mail. Okay, let me open other tab. Okay, I should have taken this there. Here I'll choose template. The other one I'll choose regular. So I've taken name as intro mail to news hubs. I'm just muting myself because there's a little bit of disturbance. So the name format LinkedIn would have sent you a similar format, but that's all automized by the company. Generally, if you get a mail, it would be. I don't think so. I have anything here. Let me just check. Just give me a minute. So this is what I was talking about. That's a job one. It's automated. I don't have a normal conversation here. Mm, okay. Okay. I don't have any properly drafted mails here, but most of them what we have is I have one from Toastmaster. See, they have a format as well. So get these kind of formats and even better ones, and to push them out in a proper, you know, format and theme, we can make use of these mail, third-party applications as Mailchimp. So this would be a regular one, and here template. My template didn't pick up. I guess 1 second. I picked a regular one. Okay. The template ones, they're more colorful, more attractive, and you get other options as well. You can add in a CTA. You can, leave in your social media handles. Okay, I said, yeah, if you take boutique, as most of you are interested in this. You can add in your own image here and change this as well. You can add in your logo. They're mentioning about the offer here, an image. So I think it's one of the products they sell, tanks, and they mentioned free shipping orders over $150, and they have a code. So that's a promo code they would be pushing out through this email. And if the customer reaches out to them with that code, and that would be, have a time limit as well. So it's just creating urgency to the customer to make the purchase. And finally, you can have your copyright and mention your terms and conditions in the footer there. So this is one option, one of the ways you can do it. If I can pick up another preset. Okay, if you have a salon appointment, you can do this. If you're a high market, an upmarket salon, and you book your appointments, so you can do it this way. Send them out an email that their email, their appointment is confirmed. So here you see the social media handles, and there's a link as well. Very simple format. If you view this in your browser, preview, just check. So when you send it out to them, this is how it's going to look. So then sending a text format that their appointment is booked, you can send this, brand yourself, create more visibility. Okay, I'll just change the logo. I'll use an image here. I'll say instead of one or the soon, I'll use NICT here. Let me see if I can do that. You can come here, upload the file. I have a logo. I'll just work on what I have right now. Here you can put your own logo and images you like. So according to the size of the image, it adjusts itself. I think I'll take a smaller one there. I'll bring up an image from the website. Let me take one image from here. Okay, I already have this image. I'll take the same one and replace it. So each time you go here, these are basically blocks. You can edit them as you prefer. Okay, so consider this being a multimedia student. I'll just make an email and admissions, on that month. Okay, if you're education institute and you have taken in certain admissions for that month, or that first half of the month or second half of the month, and if you want to make them feel special and give them an acknowledgement they're already part of institute, you can do this. Okay, I'll just I had these files, so I've taken NICT, and here you can change it to as per how you want it. Okay, what can I say? Your admission is done for multimedia masters at NICT Jainagar branch. Just don't mind that. Okay, month is not required. Just a normal, or just letting them know that admission is done and you're glad to have them. Your admission is successfully done for masters in multimedia course at NICT Jainagar. Yeah, you can just write happy learning. I'll just come up with something random. So you can do that, and I had a network issue. Am I audible now? Is it clear? I think there's still a delay in the screen. Yeah, so I was saying there was some technical issues out for a while. Am I audible now? Can you hear me? I
Yes,
still
sir.
see a delay in the screen, but can any of you let me know? Am I
Yes,
Yes, sir.
the
okay?
NICT screen is visible, sir.
Okay. So I was telling you can give them a small acknowledgement mail. Keep them posted on everything that is done. It creates uh, a journey for them. A memory backlane. So some point of time they look into their email, so they'll have this track. Okay, if you're an education institution, or even if you have a boutique or a salon, they can look back on the appointments they've got, and once your appointment is done, definitely you give the service, and you can mail them the bill, and later on the feedback as well. You can take in send them a feedback form, so you can keep them consistently engaged through this, whether they see or not. That is the open rate which I was talking to you about. But if you give a very good service, um, for sure, and your rapport is really good with them, they're sure to interact and communicate to you even through the mail. And for a student, you know you're talking about a student and you send them across something like this, it's definitely memorable for them. If institute is reaching out to them in this way, I'm sure you would have experienced this too. So just put a small message when there was a lag in the net. So saying your admission is successfully done for masters in multimedia course at NICT Jayanagar branch, happy learning. So you can put in further details on when their batch is going to be starting and the timings. So one, you're keeping them informed. Two, you acknowledging their admission. Second, you're keeping them informed, and you can also let them know uh, where and when the classes will be there. So all these details you can just make use of this, because you can't go out there and put it on other social media, because this is more personal. And like I said, you have these recent admissions, just make a separate list on the Excel sheet, so you can have various different audiences. I think we have that option there. I'll be showing you once I'm done a little editing on this. So here are the blocks where I can add in the other things as well. So here it'll give me an option. Okay, multiple add. Can clear the blocks as well. Clear this. So you can place the link. You can create a Google document, or like I said, if you want to collect their uh, data, you can have a landing page, so where they given their details, and that gets recorded some point. Okay, in the same place you can add in your Google Forms also, which I showed you earlier. Just want this to look a little better. Make it black. Yeah. So you can add in a file, like if it's something about they need to download, certain terms and conditions, you can put it up there, and the email address. So here you'll be taking them to that website. So if I say, okay, it should not be this, actually it should be a close ended, where they get to know what when is their appointment booked. Just for the sake of this, I've opened, I'll just show you. I think this should have a better color combination. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm having some issue with the network. Give me a minute. I think that got cleared. Some issue with the network. So you can basically drag and drop your content. And just put in the same message or something else. Thank you for enrolling. and you can work on this section here. The same way you can link your social media accounts as well. So I'll take this link and paste it there. Whatever social media handles you can have, or you can just remove it and add another one. So your email, taken. So these are the options you can have. It's just a click and it shows you the other options there. And from there you copy the URL of your profile and save it. Okay, I'll take the website page URL, home, copy and paste. Save and close. This means if I can put a document there. Just add in anything, like here you can put in the details. Okay, you get the link here. Copy the link and put it here, just to give them acknowledgement that appointment is booked. So start with a small business. You can make use of Google Forms, Google Documents. For each, you can generate links and place it here. I think my net is still slow. Give me a minute. Okay, I'll go with the audience section. Let's take a 10-minute break and be back. I just created a format. Okay, this one was earlier. So how do we create the audience list, and how do you take the generated database from certain Excel files and send them in bulk? I just have a small list of 10. We'll do that once we are back. Let me clear this. Okay, so let's take a small 10-minute break and be back and go ahead with the session.
ಅದನ್ನ ಎರಡು ಬುಕ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗು ಗ್ರೀನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ನಿಂದು ರೆಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೆಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ರೆಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಲೂ ಇಂಥದ್ದು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಹೇಳು ಅಣ್ಣ ಇಂಥದ್ದು
Okay, check. I was just telling you about the format and layouts you can create. Now let's go ahead and add in the audience list here. Let's start from the beginning here. Okay, I'll just say welcome mail. So just taken an example of if you're an education institute and you had taken in some new admissions, how you can send it, or if you're a new business. See, on the same lines, if you're approaching a new business or you're requesting or you're sending across a business proposal, you can do the same way. Okay, so let me start one here. You go to create and email. Get started. Okay, go into layout. Okay, I see most are paid and we'll take this one. Okay, it gives you a basic layout where again you can work around, add in your logo and what text you want. So I'll say, so left is your preview and right is where you work. Reduce your text size, color, everything to the right here. Okay, I'll add in the logo here. Replace. And if you're already uploaded, you can take it up or you will find in your desktop. Okay, and you can reduce the size of the image. And you can add in a border as well for it. I'll take this. You can round it. You can round the corners or change it to something else if you like. Yeah. Save and close. Okay, I'll take in the image I've taken earlier as well. Replace it with what image you prefer. Insert. Okay. You can work on the size of the image. Yeah. That should be more like a banner. So this was I told you, just an acknowledgement mail, just letting you know that yeah, the admission is done and you'll be keeping them informed about the further classes. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Okay, just take in a few words there. Okay, welcome on board for the Masters Multimedia course at NICT. It can be any business. We are pleased to inform you about your admission and keep you posted for the classes. You can change the text size here. And the font as well. So if you're familiar using MS Office and all that, the styles are very similar there. And here you have a small CTA button which will navigate your viewers to the respective site. So it says start shopping. I'll edit it. And again, you just place your link there. Okay, I'll just put no more. Just keep it simple. I'll just say no more. I'm using this as a CTA button, which I'm sending my viewers to another site or landing page or the website. And here you can add in the related products image of it. Let me look in for an image here. So I'm trying to upload a PNG file. Let's see if it, okay. If not, you can just you have here as well. In case you don't find the image you're looking for, you didn't get it. Uh, Mailchimp itself has this option here where you can look out for products. Okay. Am I audible? Can you hear me? I'm having a bit of network issues. Okay, I'm not able to upload a PNG. Let me take another small image. So I think I'm facing some net. Let's just give it a minute. Okay, that's uploaded now. So there are two columns here. You can mention and write about them accordingly. One to the left and right. Even the text, you get the format to the right. Just make the changes. I'll just put in SE just about the products because already given about the admission acknowledgement. And here I can connect a form. Okay, I have a form here. Let me just try connecting. So I have a link here. I'll just create a form and you can attach the link there. So either you can put your website there or add in a Google form or a document which I told you earlier. So now I've just taken a form. So what's on sale? You can say best. I think some issues with the audio. Okay. So here you'll have the previously saved formats. Okay, which one out of it. I think this would take a little more time. Let's see if I can do some bit of network can network issues today. Just try to bring it to one extent and is it clear now? Can you hear me? Okay. Anyway, let's give this a break for today, and we'll continue forward. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow at 4:30. And I think just how do you add the audiences and the subject line, which I told you earlier. We'll be doing that. Sorry, some technical issues today should be sorted out by tomorrow. I hope at least screen was visible when we were working on it. Okay, let's meet at 4:30. Sorry for an extension of few minutes. So let's meet tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.